Good evening, good evening, good evening. So, COVID-19 happened. All of us are going through our lives. We are going to our jobs every day. We are earning our salaries. For the entrepreneurs, we all have great big plans for 2020. And, you know, we're putting things in place and we project how much income we're going to make based on the projects that we have in place. And then, vlaps, here comes COVID. And like you, I'm sure, I had to make adjustments because, trust me, this COVID thing I come and just press pause on all of my plans. So you see all of those nice projections that I made, all the things that I had in place, that I said, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do in March, this is what's going to happen in April, May, June, and so on. And of course, you're not just projecting in terms of the work that you're going to do, you're projecting in terms of your incomes. You're making some very lofty long-term plans, or maybe that's just me, because I had some plans that by September to be able to get a vehicle for her flow, because her flow needs a bus. And I'm like, okay, so by September I should be able to get a bus for her flow, because a lot of the transportation things that we need right now, transportation is the biggest expense that I have. And I had all of these amazing plans for 2020, and here comes COVID. Now the government say everything locked down. Now you're in your house, you're not going to work. Now you don't have any income coming in. Now you have to be dipping into that money that you did save up. And some of us never have any savings to dip into. I know how it go. After you get your salary and you've paid list a bill, that the bill, buy food, after buy all the necessary things that you have, you are left with nothing. So a lot of us don't get a chance to save. And for those of us who have saved, oh my gosh, now we have to go back into the thing and take out all of the money out of our kitty, because you realize, even though a lot of things were paused, bill collector never paused. JPS bill have to pay. I mean, come on. At Jamaica with it, sun still a shine, the place still hot, and the fan have to blow, or the AC have to blow. Whatever you used to keep you cool have to play, because you know how the sun hot something go. So, what do you do now that it's been 3 months? Now that you're looking at your kitty and say, crap, I haven't earned any money in 3 months. What am I going to do now? How am I going to move to the next 3 months? You're looking at your bills, them still coming in, and you know how it go. Somebody might give you a little delay and say, all right, them not going to pressure you this month, but next month you're still not earning any money. Some of us at work, they tell us that, okay, well, we can keep you on, but you're going to have to take a salary cut. Salary cut? But you never done make all of the money where you needed to make to pay all of your salary from jump. To pay all of your bills, me say, from jump. So you're going to have to take a cut now. So there's a whole heap of adjusting that we had to do because of COVID. And now, some of us gone back to work. Some of us have lost our jobs. Some of us need to situate ourselves in terms of catching up with the bills that we were delayed. And it's just a whole heap of things. And you still want to you want to have a long-term plan in place. Some of us don't have any insurance in case anything happened to it. Like, if we were to get seriously ill right now, would you even be able to start? Like, that has always been my ultimate fear. My ultimate fear has always been, if I get seriously ill and I need some surgery cost some whole heap of thousands of dollars, what do I do? We're gonna be talking about money today. So that's the kind of thinking that I want us to have. I want us to think about what is our long-term plan when it comes to money. What do we have in mind for the next 3 months? How do we plan to put everything together for? A lot of us are hit 40, you know. I'm 39 now. I'm hitting 40 next year, and we don't have any pension. We can talk about that. We don't have no pension. The other day, a friend of mine was telling me that her mother goes to the post office, go pick up her pension, and she gets something like $5,000 every 2 weeks. To do what? So, obviously, we need to put something together for our pension. And of course, we're not thinking about pension at all. Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to eat? How are you going to live? And a lot of us don't know not talk, but when you think about pension, you think about the children. Listen, don't bother putting yourself on the children, because them going to have for them own stress to deal with. So all of you who have spent all of the money on the pitney and I say, well, them have a pension, don't do that to your children. Allow your children to be able to take care of their family when they have one, because they're going to need to be able to do that. And don't force them to decide between you and their own children. Okay? So you really do need to get cracking and put something together to prepare yourself for when you get old and you can no longer work. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about money. We're talking about how we can make the money that we have work for us. We're talking about how we can make more money. Some things with our budgets to make our money more efficient. So I have a nice guest with me.
Hi, Shelly. Why can't I hear you?
Hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. I'm hearing you now.
Melissa is definitely going to help us today to sort out some of our money challenges. She's going to help us do a better job of planning, and she's going to help us get to the point where we can put our money to work, because it's not enough to just make the money, you know. And as women, we are guilty of this. We make the money, I will put it in a savings account, I will say it's all right, that's stuff, and we don't really make it go. Do not extra work. When you hear about stocks, we say, stocks, you're mad. So we are scared of a lot of things. So hopefully Melissa can help us get a little bit more education on this topic, and hopefully we'll be put in a position where we can leave this live. I hope we have no pen and paper, no cast mine here, hey? We can leave this live today with something useful, with something that we can say, okay, let us see how we can put something together. First of all, Melissa, welcome to Girlfriendz.
Hi, Shelly. Hi, everybody. How are you guys today?
Oh, I'm sure they're absolutely fine.
I'm excited.
Do you have your cocktail? Where's your cocktail?
Oh.
Hello, cocktail.
Yes. My cocktail is up and ready, right? And I catch your introduction, and you sound like you kind of have it somewhat together, which you should, right? Because we can't be friends and you're in a financial turmoil, right?
All right, we're not here to talk about me. We're here to share knowledge. And like I said, I have my pen and paper. I don't profess to be awesome. Completely where I need to be, but I am definitely ready awesome. to take the necessary notes I need to take so that I can make improvements. I'm always in the business of getting better. Okay? So,
all right. Good girl.
The first thing I want to talk to you about is savings. Now, when I talk to people about savings, they tell me impossible. They don't have nothing to save. Zero. When them get their little money, by the time,
stick a pin, Shelly. Stick a pin. Cause we need to start from the beginning, right?
Okay.
So let us just start from. Let us just rewind a bit, right? Let's just go back a bit. Because all right. So today we're going to talk about money. We're talking about money. So it factor in financial planning. Because of course we want to achieve financial security. So yes, financial literacy is very important. And a lot of people are making money, but they are not financially literate, right? Exactly. So at the core of us working, whether we enjoy what we're doing or not, because of course some people go to the office and they're not enjoying their jobs. But we do it anyway because we need the money. So money actually matters. Right?
It does.
So we're working hard, and we're putting the extra time and the overtime. So we don't want to become a slave to money. So you're working and you're not seeing any headway, right? So the first thing you need to do is to have a plan. Have a plan and set goals. Because you need to figure out where I want to go, how much money I will need, the time space that I would need to go. So that's the first thing. You need to have a plan. How many persons at the beginning of the year actually write down where they want to go, what they want to achieve, and try to figure out the steps that they need to take to get there?
Entrepreneurs do that, but most persons who work 9 to 5 probably don't. But it is necessary for entrepreneurs to do it, because we have, like I said, we have to know what the goal is, and we have to have some sort of matrix to measure whether or not we are actually achieving what it is that we set out to do.
Exactly.
But people who work 9 to 5 more than likely don't have a plan. Some do,
Sometimes they don't have a plan.
Right.
All right. So once you write down your plan, you set your goals, right? So now you say to myself, all right, I want to achieve this, this, and this, right? So the first to do, you need to keep your finances organized, right?
I'm writing it down.
Keep your finances organized, right?
Yes.
I'm sweating because I'm nervous. You know I don't like to be on the camera, right?
No, I don't see no evidence of nervous. Come take over my show. But one, keep your finances organized.
So you need to keep your finances organized, right?
Yes.
So one of the first steps in achieving financial independence is to create an effective budget. How many people actually create a budget?
Well, that I know a lot of people don't do. I know a lot of people don't do, including myself.
So you need to create an effective budget. Because when you're budgeting out, an effective budget.
Okay.
Right? So when you create a budget, you're basically telling your money where to go.
Correct.
So instead of you wondering where your money went, you're going to tell your money where to go. You're going to
control the money. The money don't control you.
Your money. You're going to give every dollar a job. How many times have we said, Lord, my money just disappear? When my money gone?
Especially when me and you go anywhere.
I have how much money in my pocket and I don't know where it gone. My money disappear.
Especially when you're in a car.
Well, aside from that, because we know you set aside a little emergency money, right? Because of course in your budget have to include your needs, your wants, your savings, and your investments, right? So the money that you put aside in your car is really to satisfy your daily wants, right? So you have your needs, your wants, your savings, and your investments.
I'm writing it down.
I heard you talk about savings earlier, right?
Correct.
Because of course we went through a global pandemic. Right?
We are going through.
All right. So how did you manage? Like, the audience, I'm asking, did you have an emergency fund? How many persons had an emergency fund? Because of course, you have to stock up on certain things. Some persons were sent home. They weren't laid off, but the job was unable to pay them for a while. So how did you manage? Because as you said, Mr. JP is still at home. Your rent man, I look for him rent money same way, because most people, what they're really offering you is deferrals, Nobody not write off nothing.
No, so you have to pay it same way.
Give me a month, you have to pay it same way. So creating an emergency fund is a very, 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 very important part of your budget.
Okay, I have a question. Can I ask a question, Miss?
Sure, Shelly-Ann. Ask a question.
How do I determine the size of this emergency fund?
All right, so your emergency fund, they say, should be at least 3 to 6 times your needs, your monthly needs, right? So whatever your needs are, you have to ensure
3 to 6 times the monthly needs. Why? Some people monthly needs bigger than others, The emergency fund is so expensive. Okay, so apparently we're having some technical difficulties. Hopefully Mel can kick in shortly. But okay, so the first thing when the emergency fund is concerned is 3 to 6 times what your monthly bills are. Enough money that man. Like so when she said needs, she never said monthly budget. She said needs. Because remember initially on the budget, she said your budget should include needs, wants, savings, and investment. So I guess it's just the needs part. So if your needs is $10 and your wants is $3 and your savings is $5, you really just need to focus on the $10. So it's the $10 figure that we're talking about. All right, that is my understanding of what she says, and I'm sure when she comes back, she's going to clarify. But 3 to 6 times monthly needs, we're already in problem because my emergency fund not so flushy. Enough money that betwixt me and Uno, me just say my emergency fund need some steroids, need the fertilizer, something.
All right.
I'm just saying.
I'm not sure what happened a while ago, right? Because
I'm not sure what happened either, but you know how the technology goes. We have to adjust accordingly. But I was just saying that based on your estimation, my emergency fund needs some injection.
yes, it does actually, because you have to be able to whatever your expenses are, the ones that you have to pay, the stuff that you need, you have to ensure that you can. If it is that you're out of work for 3 to 6 months, you can manage.
Correct.
Until you get another job. You want to ensure that if you're faced with any financial emergencies,
right,
you're able to manage. That's what an emergency fund is. And
okay.
I mean, people don't think of saving as a punishment, right? Think of saving as really like a lifestyle change, a means to financial freedom, right? Save, save, save. And sometimes I sit down with persons and they're like, oh, I don't have any room to save, and I don't have any this, and I don't have any that.
They don't have any money to save.
Yes, that's what they say. They don't have any money. Would you believe that once I sat down with a client of mine, and when I went through my client's budget, I said, tell me everything you spend on. I don't care what it wants to be. Just tell me everything you spend on. At the end of that budget, there was $60,000 unaccounted for. I remember she about said she not have no money, you know.
Oh, that, you know her?
Oh. No, you don't know her.
That borrow thing from her, you know.
So I'm like, no. We have to reorganize because this not make sense. I said, where the money go? Melissa, I know where the money go. But no, we reorganize things and she's on her way, right? I met a lady once that she was saving $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month. And after I did my presentation, I did a group presentation, and she came over to me and she's like, you know, I was saving $5,000 a month, you know, but I couldn't keep up. So I turned to her and I said, why you couldn't keep up? Lord, when the month done, we just can't find the $5,000. I said, do you know that $5,000 is approximately $166 a day? You can't save $166 a day. How much things would dash for $160 per day and forget about it? And she's like, you know, actually, you know, because sometimes I'm going to TSC and I know I don't want the 2-party, you know, and I still buy the 2-party, I end up dash it way. That is money wasted. And we do that a lot. We do that a lot. Right? Yeah. So we need to budget. We need to create an effective budget, and we need to stick to our budget. Because
because anytime I break a $5,000 bill, I don't want to it. I remember the first thing that I buy out of the $5,000, and then I don't know, and then like I reach home and I have maybe $300 leave. And I sit down and I rock my brain.
Where that money gone?
What did I buy?
All right, so you see, when you have your plan now and you organize your finances.
Just a moment, Melissa, before you go on, I want to address Mr. Harrison Damian. She never said KFC, she said tasty. Patty don't sell at KFC, okay? I don't know why you're defending the fast food spaces. But she said tasty.
I actually said tasty.
Yeah, but continue.
Right. So sometimes we need to think about the things that we spend on, right?
Correct.
The things that we waste money on. Because and a lot of times we just do it without even thinking. Yeah. Right? We do it without thinking. We walk, we thirsty, we buy a bottle of water. I see my bridging down the road, I stop at chat. I walk, I left my bottle of water. By the time I reach down the road, I get another one. So I have to buy another bottle of water.
Truth.
That right there is wasted money. So we need to be focused. We need to focus on our finances. And we need just to organize. And then when you start doing that now, you start to pay attention.
Yes.
So it's like how you say, all right, you don't know where your money went. So you need to start paying attention. And once you do your budget and you put aside the money for your needs, you put aside the money for your wants, you put aside your savings and your investment, So when you know that you only have this amount of money to spend on those wants,
Yeah.
you have to make it last, right?
Right.
You have to make it last.
No,
And
but I
guys,
get
when you're saving, right? You need to save. You need to save in such a way that your money is at least keeping up with inflation or staying ahead of inflation,
What
right?
that mean me?
It means that, all right, so you will have persons that saying, okay, them save underneath their mattress, or you have the persons that have them safe that will save them money in them safe because them not with bank. Inflation will beat you bad, bad, bad. Because your money is already at a deficit. Right? So think about flexible investments that you can save your money in.
All right,
Think
hold
about
on.
flexible
Before we go to the investment part, right? I don't want to get into investment until you finalize the sale. But you tell me about the budget. But for the persons who say to you, them don't have any money because by the time them get them salary or the payment and they make everything, the trick that I do, where my savings is concerned, I treat my savings as a bill.
Right.
So just like how
Exactly.
to pay light bill and stuff.
Exactly.
So I don't wait until after I spend everything that I'm trying to find money to save. I say, all right, so this is another bill that I have to pay. That is what I have. That's my little trick. What do you recommend?
Just like what you said, treat it as a bill. So you know that you have to pay your bills, you have to take out your savings. And what I recommend too, like for persons that work at a formal institutions and your company offer things like salary deduction, some people use the credit union. The credit union is good.
Yeah.
You can send your
Credit
money.
unions are a great option.
Do a standing order. Send your money. So what you have to understand is that whatever you see in your bank account at the end, that's what you're going to survive on.
Right.
So you have to structure it. So if you know you don't have any discipline, set up standing orders. Set up a way for it to automatically go to wherever you want it to go. Right?
One of the poor baby said she needs something more palatable because she don't like pay bills.
She don't like pay. She don't like pay bills.
You're saving towards a vacation.
Exactly.
Call it Hawaii. Or whichever. Don't call it Jamaica. Because I don't say, well, welcome to Jamaica. So call it Jamaica. There you go. That's what
really, that is a part of your plan, you know. That is a part of your goal. Because we're not saying that because you're budgeting, you're not going to enjoy life. You're going to enjoy your life. So part of your budget has to do with leisures, things that you enjoy, the alcohol that you have to buy, the trips that you want to go on. Everything is going to be incorporated in your budget. So we're not going to leave anything out. And remember, you have to start small. Start small and eventually just add up. So we're starting small. So your budget includes everything. You're setting aside something for everything. And we can save because if we decide that we're going to a partner, do you find the partner money? We as Jamaicans will grow up on partner. Yeah. And no matter where you have to sacrifice, you find the partner money, don't you?
Find the partner money, that's true.
So we're not immune to savings. We just tell ourselves that we can't do it. So standing orders is a good way for a lot of persons that are not disciplined. Right? All right. And you set up other savings.
All right. Standing orders make sense. Okay, so before you get into
salary deductions.
And that's a good one. I want to talk a little bit about spending cash versus using cards. Now, I watched this financial guru on YouTube. Lord, I can't remember his name right now, but he says every month go to the ATM and draw the money that you need to spend for that month. So, for example, when you do your budget, you realize that you have this expense with $30,000 a month. Instead, draw it in a cash.
Right.
Leave your debit cards, credit cards at home. And when you go on the road, if you have whatever bill to pay, you use the cash and pay it. He says when people spend cash, they spend less money because the action of paying the cash, because mentally you don't like to give over your cash. You're not going to do it as readily as you would do your debit card. They actually have studies to show that when people use them debit card, they spend more than when they spend cash. So his advice is use cash, and then when it done, it done. What are your thoughts on that?
That makes sense, but what you can also do too, Shelly, a lot of us have more than one bank account. So what I do, I have only one bank account that is connected to my debit card.
Right.
So when I finish organizing my funds, I leave what I know I need on my debit card. So I don't have access to it. And guys, you don't need to attach those accounts to your debit card. Right? Don't attach those accounts to your debit card. So that the money that you know you're going to need, put it in that account. Right? Don't connect it. So so once that transfer is done, whether you have to go to the bank or you have access to online banking or whatever the case is, put it in that account.
Right.
Transfer and say, that all right, that $20,000 is what I have to work with. And the cash thing, as I say, when I have my cash in my purse for real, I say, really? A $3,000 for that? So you kind of think about it a little bit.
No, because it just seems enough to just count one.
It seems a lot. So that's a good way of doing it.
Action itself deter you from spending so much money because you just don't want to count it out.
Yes. So that's a good way. That's a good way of doing it. So I agree with that one as well.
Okay, awesome. So let's talk about pension. And I suppose we can get into investments as well in this part of the conversation. But I mentioned pension on purpose because when I was much younger, in my 20s, I had a conversation with somebody who was trying to sell me insurance. And they were basically saying to me that a lot of people don't think about pension until they get old. And I don't know why I remember that conversation. And I was talking to a girlfriend of mine who was telling me about her mother, like I was saying earlier. And the government, the pension that you get from the government is just not even practical. Like even at the lowest the cost of living.
But Shelly,
it's ridiculous what you actually get. So I'm saying, obviously, we have to put something in place.
Can I tell you that majority of Jamaicans don't have a pension plan? And the ones that really have a pension plan, they have a pension plan because the company offers it.
The company offers is not enough either.
No, what they do, what they also do, when you check with persons and you're like, because your company will contribute a percentage for you, right? Right. And then because what the government allows you to contribute is 20% of your annual income towards your pension, right? So a lot of persons, the company will do a 5% and they say, all right, how much do you want to put towards your pension? Most persons choose the bare minimum.
The least. Mm-hmm.
They choose the least amount of money. Because guess what? They don't want to see the deductions coming out of their pay. 5%, I'm like, why you not maximize? Why you don't max out your pension? Remember, the quality of life that we want when we retire, will determine how much money we need to have. And from even my experience, Shelly, from working at the bank, and when you see those pension checks and you see those pension money coming in, it barely can buy medication.
Exactly. That is what I realize. And I'm saying, when in our stage of life now, if we were to really sit down and factor out what it is going to take to live comfortably in 20 years. I mean, I don't even know what that figure look like, but whatever it is.
So Shelly, you can sit down and you can work it out. We can do the numbers. So you need to decide what kind of lifestyle you want when you're retiring.
You want to take a jet, go to Italy, go eat Italian food.
All right. So you need to know how much money I need to contribute towards my pension.
Okay.
And for those that are with a company that you can do the pension, remember that your pension comes out before taxes. Your pension comes out before taxes. So whatever you leave, that is what they're going to apply the taxes on. Now give them too much money for tax. Put some aside for yourself. Max out your pension. And also, even when you do the maximum, it's still not going to be enough. It's still not going to be enough. So with that said, now you need to look at long-term investments.
Right.
You need to look at long-term investments to supplement your pension.
Right.
That's a fact. And what a as you say, a lot of persons they don't decide to contribute to a pension plan until they realize that they're getting up in age, are almost soon retire. So I need, and by the time that adds up, it really comes out to nothing.
Right.
So when you're planning for your retirement, the earlier you start, the better for you.
Correct.
Time
All right,
is
so let's
one of
talk
your
about
greatest assets.
investment then, because part of the issue why especially women are risk averse when it comes to investment is because the rule of thumb that I've heard when it comes to investment is to invest money you can afford to lose. So if you're going to invest, you don't want to put yourself in a position where if the investment doesn't pan out exactly how you expect it, you're not going to completely not be able to function. So how can we invest, get the optimum dividends, and without taking so much risk that it affects our ability to function?
All right, so first thing, not all investments are high risk. Not all investments are high risk. A lot of people tend to lean towards a high risk investment because the returns are faster and higher.
Right.
Not all investments are high risk. So when you're setting up your investment portfolio, your investment, it needs to be diversified in terms of risk and time period. Because of course, you know you have your short-term, your medium, your long-term investments, right? You have your low risk and your high risk investments, and you need to set your portfolio in such a way that you're mitigating against risk.
All right, you're saying a lot of very fancy words. Let me break it down to
So let's break it down.
terms.
Let's
break it down, please.
Right?
So you say high risk, low risk, high risk, medium risk, low risk. What's the difference?
All right. So first tip, when you're investing, know what you're investing in. So get some information, do some research, because you do have companies that you can buy into. Stocks and bonds are one of the safest investments you can get into, right? So do your research. What kind of company I'm investing in? What does the company do? Is it a manufacturing and distribution company? Look at even COVID time. What type of companies you think benefit most from this period? So you know you all have some investments in a grace. That's like
I can hazard, I guess. People who sell food.
So no, just know what you're investing in, and people, just because you see an IPO coming out, it does not necessarily mean that it is for you. You understand? Because a lot of times, a lot of those type of investments are long-term investments.
Right. Okay. So how can somebody? All right. So you're talking about COVID.
I was trying to read the comment. Right.
Investing right now.
Nobody. Well, actually, no. Investing in a recession is a great time to invest. So if you have some money put aside and you want to invest, now is a great time to invest, because you actually can benefit from the recession. Because now what's happening is that, all right, so a lot of prices have dropped. Right. So you're actually going to be buying in at a lower cost. So whereas you might have wanted to buy a stock, and when you look at the stock, that stock is selling for $250 a unit. Now when you look at COVID, that stock is now priced at $100. So just imagine now you buying at $100, and when everything starts up and running, and you see the stock jump back to $250,
then that means you earn all of that dividends.
Exactly. So now it's a great time because the prices are low. So don't be scared to invest in a recession. The prices are low, and for persons who are already holding stocks and investments, what will happen to you now if you actually pull from your investment, you're actually realizing the loss. And as I said to you, when you're developing your portfolio, you need to decide, what is my purpose for investing? If you're investing for the long term, there's no need to panic, because remember when you're buying, what you're really buying is units. So you're buying at that price. So even though you might have bought the stock for $4 and it's now selling at $1, you still hold the same amount of units. So
Right.
what will happen is that when that price goes back up, then so will your investment.
When you benefit
But
from it.
if you
Yeah,
right,
but
but if you pull it now, what is going to happen is that you say, all right, I'm lose my money now. So you're actually realizing the loss. So if it is that
okay,
you don't need to pull
understood.
your investment, it's best to leave it there. So it's
Understood.
a really good time to invest now because the prices are low. And remember that we're not going to stay like this for forever, because the economy is going to have to come back and up and running, however long it takes. Right? So if you
Okay.
have some money put on, great time to invest. The prices
That's
are
fun
low.
for the long term.
And
But
you
for the
see, as Upper Darkins is saying, it's also good to invest in the dividend stocks. Right.
yeah.
And of course, the market, everybody took a hit based on COVID. Almost everybody took a hit. But it doesn't mean that we're going to stay right here.
All right.
Right?
So that's the long term. What about the short term? Because one of the things that a lot of persons are facing right now is that emergency fund that they had, they're almost depleting it. They took a pay cut from their jobs so they could keep them. I mean, a lot of persons are going back to work now, whether they're working from home or they are going back to the office. But life after COVID, life post COVID is very different from what it was pre-COVID. And so even the income is not what it used to be. And they're still trying to figure out a way to save, because even though we are making less money now, we have to still try to put together some sort of emergency fund, because this crisis is clearly not over. What do you have to say? What kind of advice can you give?
So one of the safest investments you can ever find is unit trust. You can invest in unit trust. It is affordable. It is professionally managed. I mean, the portfolios are diversified. So that's really one of the most flexible and one of the safest investments to invest in. So you can think about unit trust. Unit trust is one of the safest investments you can start. And it's affordable. So you don't need to start.
When you say
can start with
$1,000, give me a number. $1,000.
You can start with $1,000. You can start with $2,000. 1,000 Jamaican dollar, 2,000 Jamaican dollar. It's very affordable.
Okay.
It's not like when you see an IPO come out and they tell you that, oh, you have to buy the minimum amount of units and you have to spend on this and you have to spend on that. No. You decide what you want to invest. See, they just said 500. It starts at $500.
Okay.
So you can start with as little as $500 and take your time and build up that emergency fund.
Look here, people, if you don't want to invest in and something there, just link Melissa their information on the page. Just go follow Bacardi, because she can further explain to you and let you know and set you up nice and build your account and all those kind of things. But what I really want at the end of this is for us to have some practical tips that we can actually use. Like, for example, I'm going to go back to my budget. I used to have a budget. I slacked off, but I'm going back to my budget. And I'm certainly going to go back to being more deliberate about how I save, because I slacked off on that as well. But what I want to get from you is looking at the landscape, looking at what's going on, how businesses have changed and all of that. Everybody's going online. Lots of persons trying to find different ways to make more money, different ways to try to be a little bit more comfortable, because, like I said, they took a pay cut in their 95.
Right.
Do you have any advice for the person who right now is saying, yo, we really have to find another way to get some more money in my pocket? Do you have any sort of advice you want to give that person?
Any other way in terms of what? You're saying that they don't have a job?
No, well, they probably have a job, but they took a pay cut.
So what so that person needs to revisit their budgets, because remember, you know, over time you have to redo your budget, because whether your salary go up or down, you have to look back at your budget. You have to redo your budget, because a lot of things are going to be different. You're gonna have to make some sacrifices. A lot of things that you have in that one section, you might have to cut down on that, because we know that the needs are the necessary bills and stuff that you have to pay.
Because look about in another section is the
Yeah, man, we have to make sacrifices. We just have to make
mm-hmm.
sacrifices, and that's just the bottom line. No, we can't do what we normally do. We can't live what we normally. We have to take our time now, and it's we're building back up. So
Right.
revisit your budget, cut back on certain things, and know that all right. So after I level off back, then I revisit my budget again, and then I can add back these things to my budget. It's just not
Right.
going to be the same, and that's the bottom line.
So if you normally drink 12-year-old rum,
Buy
maybe
something
you need to
cheaper.
switch to beer.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
And when you're shopping, look more closely at the prices.
Yes.
Don't buy something over here for $500 when you can get it over here for $300.
Yes, and go market.
Don't
market.
spend excessively. Try not to spend more than what you earn. Do not spend more than what you earn. And
Yes.
that is even why the budget is so important. Because
Yes,
we go
ma'am.
out and we have the money and we spend the money, and then tomorrow we wake up and we're like, but me not have enough money for pay my light bill. Oh, this is gonna work. And you already
That is
know
so
if you
true.
go out and you know you can only afford one drink, buy one drink.
No go thing now play. Go thing now play right now. So we're not worried about go
No
thing.
man, just monitor. Surely, cause a lot of times people go out and when they buy the liquor, you open the liquor not even half I drink.
Not just that, but some of them have to
Be
buy
more
certain liquor for the
strategic.
hype. You don't have to join the
Exactly.
hype posse.
Exactly.
If you can't afford the hype something, you can't afford the beverages that come with little sparkly things on them. You know yourselves. You understand?
And maybe even sometimes the supermarkets that we shop in, some things are priced higher in certain supermarkets than others. So maybe you
Big
need to
up
think
market.
about that. Maybe you need to think about where you're shopping.
Yes, that is true.
You have
That
to
is
check
true.
prices. If you used to go, I remember one time, all right, and this is close, right? I remember one time I saw a dress that I liked in a particular store. And when I asked the person how much it was, oh, and you know, it's priced in US and it's this and it's that. And I was like, okay, thank you. Because it never worth it to me, right? Even though I liked it, what the price that we're at. And to tell you the truth, Shelly, I went to another store not too far away and I got that same item for about half the price. You hear? So
Yeah.
shop around. Don't just hurry up and buy. Buy on sales. When you go in the store, look what they have for sales. Ask for discounts. You have to shop smart. Don't be afraid to ask for discounts.
Hello.
Certain things I don't buy until it go on sale.
No. Better than tell you.
Better them tell you no. Certain things I don't buy unless it go on sale.
Correct.
This
Somebody asking a question. Is there a general rule as to how much your income should go to savings or investment?
Well, you have the 50-30-20 rule, but of course, as I said, Shelly, in financial planning, everybody's portfolio is different.
Right.
So you can DM me. We sit down and we talk, and because sometimes it depends on where you are, the expenses that you have. You might be dealing with a loan, so we have to be realistic as well.
Correct.
Right? So it depends on where you are. You might want to employ the 50-30 rule, 50 to needs, 30 to wants, 20 to savings and investment. But it doesn't work like that all the time for everybody. Okay. So you have to tailor your budget to fit where you are.
Makes sense.
It's not a one size fit all. Okay?
Makes sense.
So when you sit down and we go through, we decide, all right, so you can squeeze a little $1,000 or a little $2,000 towards that, right? So it is tailored to you specifically. Your financial portfolio is built for you.
All right, no problem. Diana, she's not at the bank anymore, but you can link her. Her information is there, Melissa. Her WhatsApp information. No WhatsApp. Her IG information is there. Just send her a DM because she's very, very good with her DM. So just send her a DM and she will respond to you. But Melissa, would you believe it that we're almost out of time?
Are you serious? It's an hour already?
Yes, almost out of time. But
All right,
before
so
we kind of,
we touched on the retirement, right?
right? Instagram just dash real. So before we get dashed off by Instagram, I think we have about 7 minutes. I want
All
to
right. So
want
let
to
me.
take the time and just give me one very important bad habit that you think we must address if we're going to get to financial stability and security.
Well, all right. So let me try and get in 2 points first because we touched on retirement, right?
Yes.
And we touched on, so most of us, as you said, we're saving, and I heard you
Right.
talking about it when I just joined the live, and I want to emphasize how important this is because we're working hard, we're taking care of our families, we're building up, we're saving, we're building up. But have you ever stopped to think what happens if I get sick throughout all this process? Where this money going to come from?
Yeah.
What if I get diagnosed with a critical illness?
That is my nightmare now. My nightmare is getting seriously ill and not being able to do what I need to do to get treatment because of a financial situation.
And you realize that over the years we have been plagued with a lot of critical illnesses. You see the cancer pop up now. You see young people are dead from heart attack. You see the stroke. All of these things. So we need to protect ourselves against this. And what better way to do that than to pass on the risk to an insurance company? You pay a minimal money, and people, insurance is not expensive. All right? It is not expensive. So invest in your health. See, Apple Dawkins say have a good health insurance, have a good critical illness protection plan. Even if you know that,
Yes.
all right, you need $5 million, but you might not be able to start there. Just start. Eventually, you can add on. It don't mean say just because you start and you get a $1 million coverage, that's where you're going to stay. Critical illness coverage is very important because if we're saying that we don't think we have enough money to save and all of that, if something affect, how we are gonna manage? How
No,
are we
it's
going to
true.
pay for it?
It's absolutely critical. Like you said, pun intended.
By the
Absolutely critical.
by the time we start the GoFundMe account and we start begging and we start this, we might not even make it because we don't get the money in time. So people,
Absolutely.
change your lifestyle. You have to look at what is important. Change
Correct.
your lifestyle. Invest health as well. Invest in your health.
And if you learn nothing else from COVID, if every other lesson that COVID can teach fly over your head, understand this, that your health is the most important asset that you have. Because if your health is off, everything else back down. Full stop, end of story. And that goes for people with money and people who don't have money.
And then not even only that, you know, a lot of persons don't go to doctor unless they're sick.
Unless they drop down.
A lot of persons don't do a checkup, you know. A lot of persons don't go to doctor unless them drop down.
And them have to drop down and they're brought there as an emergency. That's a fact.
They just say increase your coverage as your salary increase. Increase your coverage as your salary increase. So your income change, you look at what else you can add to your portfolio.
Correct.
Right? So people
wanted to make.
No, it brings me right back to the budget. Budgeting is one of the most important and effective things you can ever do to organize your finances. Like, just write down everything where you spend on. Write your income, everything you spend on. Once you identify the areas that you need to adjust, then you have to make some changes.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the only way. You have to make sacrifices because you have a plan, you have a goal you want to achieve. Sometimes you know in the future you might want a mortgage. Start save from now. Lessen the amount of money that you're going to have to think there. Some people want a mortgage and them can't find the down payment, you know. Like, seriously, I mean, you know, from what the younger you are, and people, I don't know why young people don't like to save and young people don't like to do a lot of things, and that's like the best time because your expenses are so low. That's one of the best time to start saving and investing, you know. You can take risk. You can do a lot of things. That's one of the best time. And get your insurance. The young time is an asset. The younger you are, the healthier you are. That's the best time to get insurance. Because when people get older and them get sick and them realize that at them time that they need it, then they complain about the high price. So guys, think about it while you're young, while you're healthy. It's even though it's never too late to start, the earlier start, the better it is.
Absolutely.
The earlier start, the better it is. So how much time we have left, Shelly? We're going to come back for 10 minutes?
You have 5 more minutes. Make it count.
All right, so I have 5 more minutes. So we touched on critical illness, and people buying insurance will not make you go bankrupt, right? It will not make you go bankrupt.
No, but it's actually an asset.
It's an asset. You're investing in yourself. You're investing in yourself. So it's really an asset. And all right, so and you have a lot of persons too, right? You're working for your family, you're earning an income, you're taking care of things around the house and stuff like that, because family security is another important aspect, right?
Correct.
Family security is very important. So you need to think about things like, all right, what if I'm faced with an untimely death? How my kids will manage? I have my husband, I have my kids, the 2 our income are combined and we make it work. What happens if I'm not in the picture? Because a lot of people don't realize, like once the breadwinner dies, the income dead too. There's no income coming in again.
In your scenario, you're the one who are dead. Make your husband dead, nice scenario. Give your husband nice scenario.
I'm just saying, anybody can be out of the picture, but guys, think about life insurance. Life insurance serves a lot of purpose. Life insurance is a great way for you to have family security. What's the family indemnity plans, right? So think about life insurance because you want to ensure that if you're not in the picture, your family is taken care of.
Correct.
You want to ensure that your family is taken care of, and
ensure
also,
that
guys,
dead, the family is taken care of.
No, but also, Shelly, all right, say you're in the picture and you live till them son you and you agree and whatever, right? Life insurance is also a great way to create generational wealth. And I think we need to start thinking about creating generational wealth.
Yes, I think we can look at that on the next episode because that is another level of whole heap of things that we have to talk about. But that is correct.
That it's an awesome way to create generational wealth.
Correct.
Stop laughing on them.
I'm not killing them off. But I don't know why in a PR story I share them. Why you want? Are you a story, you know?
But Shelly, did you know that when you're going for a mortgage, you have to have life insurance?
I do.
Or any major loans? If you're thinking about getting a mortgage, at some point you're going to have to get life insurance.
You do.
Why not get the insurance that benefits you? Right? Get the insurance that in the long run, don't just take out the credit for life where at the end of the day, you and your family don't benefit from that. It's just for the credit. Take out the insurance that it's an investment in yourself. And most insurance plan, it builds up over time. Most insurance plans are equity linked. So even if you get to that age where you decide that, listen, I don't want my insurance, I exhaust all the uses of my insurance already, all of my pity them gone or whatever, you're going to get back your money from the insurance company. Buy good insurance.
Look at that.
Investment. Invest in your health.
And on that note, I would like to say thank you very much to Miss Melissa Golden. And definitely find her on Instagram at Melissa_V_Golden. And she will definitely hook you up. She will help you get your budget together and get, like, seriously, write my list down because I'm actually going to sit down and work on it because I used to do it, but I dropped off. So I'm going to catch myself and sort out myself because especially now, I need to be very conscious about how I spend money. And I need to stop buying things for people when they're driving around with me at daytime. So I'm going to be very, very particular about how I spend my money.
Yes,
so
give every single dollar a job. Say that
Give
again.
every dollar a
Give
job.
every single dollar a job.
That's
Make your money
hashtag,
work for you. Make your
give
money
every
work for you.
single dollar a job. There you go.
There you
So,
go.
thank you very much, Melissa, and thank you to everybody who tuned in today. Of course, this video is going to be up. You can always check it out on Dr. Sexy TV on YouTube. All the videos are posted there, and I put some clips on the page as I usually do. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you found some information very useful, because I certainly did. And you know, me takes me out on the people. You know, so me see that girl there every day, and she never tell me them good something here. So me have to forget good advice from her. Me see her every day. Me see her, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every day. Me see Melissa, you know.
Shelly,
and this is what I have to do to get all of these. And you know my clients.
Shelly.
We'll call it off air. I'm going to scandal you, Melissa. We'll speak on it off air. So in the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. And thank you, Melissa, for giving us some very important information. And I'll see you next week. Girlfriendz Cocktailz and Conversationz, 6 o'clock right here. IGTV, Dr. Shelly-Ann. And thank you so much, everybody, for keeping it locked and for spreading the word. And I will see you again next week, Sunday.
Yes, and link me. There's lots more information to share, guys.
Definitely,
link me up. Lots more information. Yes.
Thank you very much. Later, guys.
Bye.